the full amount, not just the stipend.
Will you shoot me an email and I will get that addressed?
Okay,
I will get that addressed
okay.
for sure.
I'm gonna use one of my stickies.
That's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. That is what they're there for.
Trent, can you see the palm trees or no?
I can, and I can see those glasses, those X-ray vision glasses you're wearing. I love them. Are we ready?
I think so.
Are you recording?
That is recording. This is dead, so I have my computer recording over here. So, yep.
Okay.
And we have, and then we're live on YouTube.
Okay.
And Lloyd's on. That's all that matters. Lloyd
Can
left.
you mute him?
We will keep him muted. We want the meeting to go fast tonight.
No, no.
Can't wait to have it already.
Okay, let's call the February 12th, 2026 San Juan County, Utah Planning Commission meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. Starting to stay a little lighter out there. Commission members in attendance: Melissa Rigg, Ann Austin, T.C. Garcia, Lloyd Wilson, Trent Schaefer. Staff: Corey Coleman, Jens Nilsson, County Commissioner Sylvia Stubbs. Anybody I missed? Mac. Is he on?
Mac's on.
Mac McDonald. There you are. Your office is dark.
I'm sitting in a hotel room. It's
Oh.
never fun.
Okay. Okay. And would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Does any of the commission members have a conflict of interest that they would like to disclose on anything that's on the agenda tonight?
Nothing today.
Okay, hearing none. Okay. Number one, approval of Planning Commission minutes from January 8th. I've got one.
Is it an A?
Yes. Take that A out of Tamara's name.
Hopefully, about the rest of the names correct us about.
How is Nielsen spelled?
N-I-E.
L.
It's I-E-N-O-N.
It's O-N. Okay, so then his name's wrong in this.
That's one of the ways.
So is it the same way as yours, or? Okay, so the hit Cody's
Cody's
last
is-
name's spelled
is-
wrong.
O-N.
It's Owen.
I did not catch that.
I still can't get it right.
Well, you know,
I'm glad you asked that
that's-
question because I was going the same way. I was going back and forth.
That's a tough one.
And then there's NEL. Okay, any other comments on the minutes? I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. Melissa made a motion. TC seconded to approve the minutes as amended. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. This was interesting. Number 2.
Number 2 is very interesting. Do you want me to jump on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just an informational item, and this is just to let the public know that we have a massive phishing scam going on. And what's going on is, so a couple things is, number one is we are not going to ask for a wire transfer. The county employees do not ask for wire transfers, and what's happening is they're doing really good at taking these meetings right here, and it appears like they're running AI through them, and they are sending invoices for. I tried to block out all the confidential information, but they're sending transfers for $1,000, $1,200. The one thing is for any fees that we collect, typically we collect them at application stage. So if you've been approved, do not be paying anything. Make sure that your neighbors know this. It's not a good thing. But there's certain methods that you can kind of see how they do it. So as an example, if you look in the packet, it'll say planning.sanjuancounty.ut.gov@USA. When we talked to our IT director on it, he's like, just make sure that the @ is at sanjuancounty.ut.gov. So what we're asking the public to do is be very vigilant, bring it to our attention as quick as possible. But more importantly, we need the public to take action on their side, and what that action has been advised to us is they need to go on to their Hotmail accounts or their Gmail accounts, and they need to type spam, and at that point, when you hit that with Microsoft or Gmail, they will contact the proper authorities and start working on shutting them down. But if they're not getting a response, then they can't do that.
I actually think you need to publicize this more completely, like with the San Juan record. It was really sophisticated, I thought.
Very much, and that's why I put it in there, is because you can see.
I think you need to let the paper know to put it on.
So we did go to the sheriff's office, and they put out, from my understanding, they put out a thing on Facebook. But I agree, and I'm kind of hoping that the scammers are on tonight, and they kind of realize that we're onto them.
Uh,
Who's that 801 phone number?
I think that's. Oh no, that's Connor.
Look at that smile that he has. So this is one of those things that, like the commissioner says, it's one of those. We need to get it out as much as possible. We need to make sure our neighbors know about it. What staff is asking is, if this comes to your attention, not only hit the spam button, but also notify us so we could get it to our IT person to start looking into it. We could get it to our sheriff's office to do it. But yes, we're going to be very vigilant on it, because there was one of them that we just got another one yesterday.
Yeah.
So they're attacking, and they're attacking hard.
Nuts.
So
Crazy. Too much time on their hands.
Maybe they'll take care of that toll problem that I keep being texted about. Paying my toll.
you're like, not gonna happen, right?
Not going to happen from MVD.
Corey, do you want to take 3 and 4?
Yep. So number 3, Tamara has worked a lot of hours redoing the binders, and there's been a lot of effort going into the binders. These binders are intended to provide commissioners with key tools, background material, and resources to assist in conducting the meeting efficiently and consistently. Certain items located in the front section of the binders are intended to be reviewed and completed prior to adjournment, and commissioners are requested to return the binders to staff at the close of the meeting, so they may be updated and reused for future meetings. The approach supports consistency, transparency, and effective use of staff, planning, commissioners, and public resources. One item that we have discovered is we did not have a Word file of the current San Juan County ordinance. So we've spent a lot of hours doing conversions on that, and it's been a lot of work to do. With that said, we have publicized the current ordinance as adopted as one of your tabs. And then as we work through this exercise over the next several months, going line by line, page by page, making sure that the commissioners are helping us, making sure that the public's involved. If there are issues, we're going to get them addressed. But so that's one item. The second item of that is we have found some ordinances that have been passed that just pop up on certain days. So what we did is we started sliding those into the appendixes, so they're all in one place. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get it where the public could come in and say, what is a law, and look through one packet without going on a chase on that one. So that's dealing with the binders. After a public hearing, the county commission, item number 4. So December 23rd, the general plan was approved. On February 3rd, I believe, the county commission reviewed it. The commissioners asked questions on it, and the land use portion of the general plan, so it's about 8 pages, I believe, has been replaced with the current code. We did not print that because it's about 200 pages. So what we'll do is we'll create a digital binder over time where you have that. And I think it's going to be one of those. I think the general plan is always going to be looked at about every 3 to 4 years. And when we see the needs of the residents and the desire, we'll take a visit of that section. But it's a very high level. It's a very high level of where the county wants to go, and then through the exercises that we're going to be doing tonight, and that it's going to be more granular.
These binders are really nice.
Aren't they?
Thank you.
I didn't do
Tamara.
it. Tamara did a very good job on it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Corey. Okay, moving on. Public comment. This will be for anything that's on or not on the agenda. And we'll take in-house first, and then we'll move to online. Before we start, I want to share this with the commissioners. We've got a land use training from the ombudsman. We'll make sure to get a copy of this. It's going to be March the 2nd at the golf course here, 6 o'clock.
So I will also email that out to everybody. And then if we need to work on any accommodations or anything, we can.
And again, before we move on, I want to thank staff for, we're in such a different place than we have been, and I feel really good about it, and I know that our staff is to be credited for a lot of that, and I want them to know that I appreciate them. Okay, public comment, in-house. What?
Just watching.
Okay. Online, any public comment?
I seen a nod from Connor. Does that mean a yes?
Yeah.
He took off the microphone, so it sounds like we're going to hear from Connor.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. I was that 801 number, so not the scammer guy, but Mac got me a link, so now I'm here this way. But thank you for your time. And I mean that this is a sacrifice and cannot be done without you. Please pay attention to who's supporting you guys. As a preface, my campground was shut down last Friday. I'm no longer in business and I'm selling my cabins, bathhouse, and moving on. But I'm not going away. I have a very good idea of what's going on in the county. And at this point, I have nothing to lose and little to gain by being here. My wife wanted to go on a date tonight, but I'm here instead. I think we'll still sneak out in a little bit. But so San Juan County faces two urgent challenges that I see: poverty and affordable housing for working families. I think the county's pretty broke as well. My one comment on that is how bizarre it is to use the county money to pay your attorney and administrative law judge to shut down families running businesses in good faith. Though I can admit it wasn't done perfectly, it was not malicious. In Spanish Valley, a quarter-acre minimum and low density makes it nearly impossible to build townhomes, small multifamily, or other housing types that teachers, service workers, and young families can afford. I don't think you need a high-rise building or high density, but something besides just residential, and in an area that it can actually be done. And there's not a lot of stuff out there to go do that on. At the same time, our zoning structure limits how business friendly we can be. With very few commercial and flex zones, entrepreneurs, contractors, and small service providers face barriers to operate locally. And if we want to reduce poverty, we must make it easier, not harder. Across the country, communities that allow modest density and flexible mixed-use zoning, increased housing supply, and support small business growth without destroying community character. Flex zones allow residential and small business uses to coexist thoughtfully. Please ask yourself, where will business work in San Juan County? I love the whole county, but it is rural. Spanish Valley is your golden goose. It is very hard to have a business where there's not a lot of people. Under the Utah Land Use Development and Management Act, your role is to promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the entire county. The Planning Commission is not here to represent only one group, not just current residents and not just property owners. You are tasked with acting in the best interest of not just the residents, but also the property owners, the business owners, the future residents, and the long-term economic health of San Juan County. The question isn't whether we grow, it's whether we grow in a way that expands opportunity and allows families and businesses to thrive here. Thoughtful zoning reform can help us do that. Please keep in mind the long-term economy. Please make sure you talk about that tonight and incorporate it. Thanks. That's all I've got, guys.
Thanks, Connor.
Sorry to hear that, Connor.
Me too.
Any other online public comment?
Can I say something?
No.
Please? There was a really excellent editorial in the Salt Lake Tribune recently about how zoning laws have to change to make housing more affordable and available. And if you all want it, I will send it. Yeah, it was really quite well, very neutral, just very well stated and clear.
Good.
Okay.
Love to see it. Okay, we'll call an end to public comment. Administrative items. Number 6. I don't know, most of you probably here for this year and a half ago, but it's expired and so it's a reapplication. So I think there was a staff report and I think there's going to be some modifications to our original conditional uses for the conditions. And this was just kind of put together by more of county staff and other departments' input. as well as the building department.
So I could jump on that one.
Yeah.
So Stephen Alba's online with us today. And what Stephen Alba contacted us back in January with some questions about his conditional use. When we looked back through the record, it was expired. We asked him to reapply, resubmit, and then what we've did on this one was we've combined everything from his prior approval, the minutes from his prior approval, his prior application, all that stuff. And then what we did was we went out to the department. So we went out to the road department, we went out to the fire department and said, hey, this is what was on the original use. Could you help clarify this a little bit? One of the questions that came up is on page 14, where the comment was, my apology, page 13. Must comply with all building codes and permit requirements, including a fire suppression plan for campsites. From staff standpoint, we really weren't sure what a fire suppression system was, and Stephen Alba didn't know what a fire suppression system was either. So we kind of started scratching our head, like, is it a bucket of water? Is it a fire riser? What fire hydrant? Different things. So that's when we reached out to the road department and the emergency, or the road department and fire, and asked them for some more advice. And coming through the thing is one item that staff needs a recommendation on, whether it's a rewrite. We gave you two different options. Option for the fire suppression, option 1 is the applicant shall maintain a fire safety plan, provide approved manufactured fire rings at all campsites, and always comply with the most restrictive applicable county, state, and federal fire regulations. One reason we went this direction is with the LaSalle fire, we want to make sure that we're not getting ourselves in trouble. And we want to make sure we take fire very serious. The second option, probably a little bit more stringent, is the applicant shall prepare and maintain a fire safety plan subject to review by the fire official and shall provide approved manufactured fire rings at all designated campsites. All fire-related activities shall always comply with the most restrictive applicable code, county, state, and federal fire code regulations and requirements. What staff's thoughts on this pattern was just to protect not only his assets of camping, but the assets of the county from fires growing and that type of stuff. And it gives him better direction of just saying, you must have fire suppression. It tells them more like, work with the fire marshal, work with the agencies. The next one down that we need input on again, we threw out two options. They could be rewritten however the planning commission desires, and we'll have Stephen comment on them. Is when we looked into this and contacted our road department, it is a D road. A D road in San Juan County, I learned this week, so we'll teach everybody this week, is an unmaintained county road. So we leave that up to the person at the end user on that. And same thing, is any use of the existing unmaintained county roadway, D 1152, for access to the property shall be coordinated with San Juan County Road Department. The applicant is responsible for complying with all applicable requirements and conditions identified by the road department. Issuance of this permit does not constitute approval of a roadway conditions, maintenance responsibility, or emergency service access. Or D 1152 is an unmaintained San Juan County road, and proposed changes must be coordinated through the permit application process with the road department. So what we did is we struck the areas that were of concern, where we're maintaining a 15-foot road, in turn we're giving fire services, because we can't get a fire truck down a 15-foot unmaintained road safely. So with that said, on the top of that staff report, after review with all of the departments and these minor changes, we make a recommendation to approve the conditional use permit on the findings that we found, based that it's still within harmony of what he originally wanted to do. But with that said, it is the planning commission's decision of which direction they want to go. And with that said, that's all I have to say. Commissioner or Chair, maybe Stephen Alba's on the line if we need to add anything, and then I'm here to answer any questions that might arise.
Okay, let's talk about either ors. Anybody got any thoughts on those?
I got a question, maybe on the first one, Corey. Manufactured firing,
just meaning it's not made out of rocks?
Yes.
Something, or what? Yeah.
That was the intent. Is the intent
Okay.
was something that's like a 6-foot culvert pipe.
Yeah.
We would consider manufactured.
Gotcha.
Stephen might be able to weigh in more on that one, but we just didn't want something with whole. We want something not necessarily clear to the extent of UL listed, but something that is not going to be rocks.
Not cedar sticks and ring.
Yeah, not firewood.
Okay. And you referenced a few times in there the fire official. What role is that?
So the fire official is David.
Okay.
He's our fire official, and David and I work very closely on these type of things.
Mhm.
So if David has any questions, he'll come to me. If I have any questions, I'll go to him. But we want to make sure Stephen, more so than anything, we want to make sure that Stephen has those resources of who to contact.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That's my last question on that one. I'll save the road one for the next one.
Perfect.
Okay, what direction would the commission lean?
It looks like the only difference is review by Gallegos, right? Between the two.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay. Honestly, I think I'm all right with the first bullet myself. Top bullet.
The top one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with either. I think if it's gonna cost him more money or time, I would go with the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lloyd, you got any thoughts?
No, I'm good with that one too.
Okay, then let's drop down to the road.
Okay. Question on the road. D1152, is that like the main drag out by Looking Glass? Is that the one
So
that goes to the current campsite?
no, it's a one that goes off of Looking Glass. So you go off Looking Glass Road, and I believe that is a B road. So the Looking Glass Road is B131. If you go to page roughly 17,
Okay.
the blue road is B131, and that is the Looking Glass Road.
Yep.
And then you're going to go off to D096.
Yep.
And that's the one that goes to Illume, and then his road comes off of that road, which is D1152.
Okay, I'm with you. So the one that goes to Illume it's a D road, but somebody maintains that. That must be the Illume folks take care of that, huh?
That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. And then 1152 is essentially a 2-track that runs south. All right.
I recall, didn't Sitla have some comments about the road?
And it's in here.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them last week, and again, they support the project. They said they would help with signage, whatever it would take. And I think signage is probably critical for his patrons to know where his project is, and the looms to know,
Right.
where theirs is. So I think that's been the confusion before. But yeah, Sitla, whatever we're calling them now.
Yeah, TLA. So you talked to Brian Torgerson?
Yeah.
Okay.
They resolved their differences, it sounds like.
What did you say?
They resolved their differences.
Well, did you read the minutes from time before?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that they're against it. I mean, they're kind of, but wants it done right. And
Right. They had
Have
some.
concerns, right? Yeah. Trent, I think I'm good with the second paragraph or
Okay.
bullet there.
let me get back to that. The second one.
The second one.
Okay. you guys are going with the more condensed version of both.
Well, I'm assuming that, says any proposed changes must be coordinated through the permit application process with the road department. I'm assuming that's a fairly robust process, so.
Okay,
I'm okay either way.
Yeah.
okay.
Simple.
Lloyd?
I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty, so Corey, well, we'll have to. The commission preference is the shorter.
The second one, Road D 1152.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And the first one would be the first paragraph.
The applicant shall maintain.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I do have one thought though. If we go with the shorter language, I think we also need to think that there's going to be future projects too that are going to come forward, and this might tie us to the shorter version for other projects. And is that going to be appropriate for the unknown things that might come to the county? And if it's just a question.
So if I could,
Unknown knowns.
Mhm.
if I could address that, Chair, the intent of staff is to do what the planning commission wants and what the citizen wants. With that said, when we have something like this where we're getting input from our road department saying A or B, or staff's going to try giving you the tools with a short version and a long version where you could have that conversation. So I don't think that this necessarily sets a precedence. With that, I don't want to change subject, but when we're done with this, I do want to talk a little bit about this future of conditional use permits.
Yeah, and I agree that the next project, we're gonna address conditions.
And we can change the language to be appropriate for that.
Sure.
It's not going to tie us to anything.
Right, yeah. Hope not.
Stephen, have you been hearing all of our conversation here?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Do you have anything to add or?
No, I totally understand, the need for a fire ring, and I guess I would just need to know how, what the height above the ground needs to be, and then like if it needs to on the inside go how far down, or and that wouldn't be a problem at all. And then I think the roads, I guess you'll go over the stipulations on that, because it last time they told me it just needed to be 15 feet wide.
And paved and gravelled and blah, blah, blah.
Just kidding.
You're joking.
Paved.
He's
Paved?
joking, Stan.
Oh my goodness.
That's kind of
Yeah.
how we ended it with you last time, was improve the road, improve the county's road, if you would, please.
Which I've done. Yeah, I've got it widened up over 15 foot now.
I'm just kidding, Steve. You know.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, my food track road, I've widened. I've had it widened.
Okay. Well, we still know that it's going to be a challenge for emergency vehicles, fire trucks, whatnot. So I think we just leave it at that.
I did actually consider that, considering that I'm going to have campers pulling in and out, and I have several pullouts which are along the, the long stretch of the road before you get to the campground that will allow, if somebody sees lights coming, there's more than enough room for them to get out of the way.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use using the findings and conditions after finding substantial evidence described in the conditional use permit document created by staff
Okay.
with the options that we chose.
TC made a motion
I'll second.
and made a second to approve the conditional use permit for a hipster or a hip camp hipster by the Looking Glass Rock for Stephen Alba with conditions put together by staff and our discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Yeah.
Motion carries.
Thank you guys
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for your patience.
so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Do you want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay.
So real quick. So we will have a training by when we slow down. We might not be slowing down anytime soon, but as soon as we have a little bit of a break, we're going to have a training from our attorney's office. The state is putting some pressure on getting rid of conditional use permits because they're extremely subjective.
Oh,
The concern that we have is we don't have a development code that is a development code yet. So what happens, and kind of raised her. So what happens is if it's a conditional use permit right now, then we're going to start working on development code that talks about the specifics. Is if you do this, then this is what we need: A, B, C, D, and it's going to be the same across the board for everybody.
Development standards.
Development standards.
Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't really do development standards until we have a code, until we have one code right now. And I kind of compare this, I do a lot with International Code Council, and I kind of compare this to when International Code Council came about. When International Code Council came about, it was 3 model codes, one from the Washington area, one from the California area, and one from Louisiana and that type of stuff. What they did was they came in, and when they codified the code, they put all 3 codes together and made one really good code, and that's now called the International Residential Code and International Building Code. So it's kind of we're kind of in the same mix right now. Is we have a San Juan County 2011 code, which is the current code, which is the code. Then we have a Spanish Valley supplement, and then we have little bits and pieces of, as an example, we have the Airbnb clarification that got adopted in Spanish Valley to fix something.
Subdivision code.
And then we have the subdivision code that we're going to be incorporating in. So it's going to be it's going to be one of those things. Short term, we have to use a conditional use method to attempt to give the residents what they desire and what they need, as long as it's within harmony of what we're looking for. But as we get these conditions, like this condition, this is a great condition. As we get this condition, we're going to see what we can do from a staff standpoint to get a better development code, so that we could change this section on the use table from conditional to permitted or non-permitted, whatever the case may be.
And the development code has phrases like must comply with water
Yes.
and must comply with health, and then you just check your boxes.
From my understanding, yes, it's going to be very. So a good example is if you look at the telecommunication tower chapter that's in the proposed 2025 proposal, that would be implemented into the code. But now telecommunication towers would be allowed anywhere where it said permitted, as long as they met those 25 pages of the telecommunication. And that's going to be something that we're going to bring forward to the Planning Commission through first readings and second readings and that type of stuff.
But they would also require a variance for their height too, right?
I don't know that we could do a variance, to be honest. I think what it's going to be is you could go up to X height, but you have to be X distance from your property line. So if you're going to go up 110 feet, your property is going to have to be the 220 plus the setbacks. But that's going to be something that the commissioner, as we present this, is going to be something that the commissioners will have to look at, and we'll also have legal look at it. But in answer to your question, it's one of those things that it will be addressed. The state does not look real nicely on variances, because a variance has to be not self-inflicted, from my understanding, because they don't want the commissioners or the elected officials saying, "Oh, because you're our friend, you go 200 feet on a tower, but because you're not, you're 100 feet." So variances, from my understanding, Jens might have input on this one, I don't know, but variances, from my understanding, are not a good practice also. So we just want to get it into the code where somebody reading the code could make the decision they need to move forward.
So, but we've been running our variances through a judge, correct?
Correct.
And
Like-
so if somebody leases, a 30 by 30 spot or whatever from a landowner, would we not be able to send that before a variance judge if it is a permissible use to get the height that we need?
Cell towers are probably a little bit of a unique animal.
So cell towers might be, would it be fair to say they might still always be conditional, looking at
Mhm.
the conditions around them? So it won't be necessarily a variance, but it'll be a conditional process.
Lloyd, did that tower ever go in on Sunny Acres?
It did,
Okay.
yeah.
So a variance was given by the administrative law judge on that.
Yes.
And that U-Haul self-storage that's going in, that has to go for a variance as well for height.
For height, yep.
For that,
The 3-story.
the elevator shaft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and
Yeah, I had a clarification. So we're talking about design standards or
Development.
development standards. Is that different than what was in the proposed LEDMO that we already had, like Chapter 7, development and design standards?
I don't think so. I think that's what the intent of that was. It's just not currently adopted right now.
But we're going to have a Chapter 7 in this new one.
Yes.
Or like
Yes.
we're going to have a chapter on development and design standards.
Yes, and it's going to keep on growing as we start getting rid of conditions. As we start getting rid of conditional use permits, it will grow accordingly.
Okay. All right. Because we were going in that direction, I think, with the proposed one.
Which
Because it explains acreage standards for all of the different zones that we had, and height and setbacks and all of that. Is that the same thing you're talking about, development standards?
yeah, so it's going to have anything. Yes, it's going to be the specifics that they're not calling us and saying, "Hey, what can I do or what can I not do?" They could open up the book, they could look at the table and say, "We could do this," and then they submit the permit accordingly.
Okay.
So if I'm understanding right, if you look at our use table, anything that has a C in it, we try to make either a P or a blank.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
But we don't do that now.
We're not doing that now.
every time those guys get together up there.
Yeah.
Now, with that
creates a
said,
mess.
like Jen said, there will be some that we just can't. There will be some that it's going to be conditional just because of the nature of what it is. But overall, we don't want too many C's.
Yeah, that's how we've settled a lot of issues over the last several years is conditional use permits.
Correct.
Okay. number 7. I know Melissa sent in a bunch of stuff, and I've got a bunch of stuff too. And I think, we talked today, there's going to be, let's make changes, see it again.
So from what staff's intent is on this one is first reading, second reading, third reading, fourth reading, however many readings we need to get Corey's grammatical correctly or whatever the case may be.
I think you've done good.
So what we'll do is we're going to have another phase come back next planning commission with additional chapters. And that's going to be the first reading of those additional chapters. But then at that point, these will be coming back as the second reading. And then once we get into feeling confident that the commission is happy and the public is happy that it's been beat, that it's in the best interest of everybody, then we will put it on for the legislative action at that point. But one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to get something approved that hasn't been vetted very well. And that's the intent of the strikings and the different colors and different things along those lines. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the comments coming back. I mean, be blunt with me. Say, hey, this is where it is. We're moving through a lot of paperwork on that one. But yeah, so any comments that are talked about tonight, what we'll do is we have two different options. We could either strike and replace and put it back for a second reading, or we could just replace. We could just delete and replace and start cleaning up the document so it's starting to look more in a final ordinance. And that's something that if you could just give me some input on which direction we want to go, whether it's a strike and replace or a replace, that'll be very helpful.
I think, I don't want it to be more work, but I think a strike and replace would be.
No, and I appreciate that, because to me, that's actually less work.
Okay.
It's more work front end, but it's less work because of citizens, and you could see exactly.
Yeah.
We told Corey to delete A, and he never got to that. So that's totally fair.
Okay.
There are multiple colors in this.
Okay.
There's like this light blue, there's regular blue, there's green, there's red. Did that mean anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the blue is like the new changes.
So the light blue.
The light blue and the blue are the same, it's just different programs that I've been using.
Okay.
So keep in mind the
Blues
blue's the
are
same.
changes.
Yep.
Okay.
Black is existing, and then magenta.
Magenta.
So as an example, like on page 39,
Did you want to tell us what the color is?
accessory building
Yeah.
is, we have the San Juan County Code that defines accessory building not used for human occupancy, which is secondary to the main structure. We have the proposed as a building or structure, and they're all very similar, but then we have an ordinance that's out there that's been passed by resolution on accessory dwelling unit ADU. So at the end of the day, what we're looking for is one definition of accessory dwelling, and however that happens, we want to make sure it's consistent across all different avenues.
Well, that's pink. I would call that pink. There's also a red.
Where's the red at?
A red? I came down to find one for
Okay,
you.
nope.
That's all magenta.
That's pink. That's red.
So
That's a difference, not pink. That's
Corey,
on,
real quick, while we're still on page 39,
okay,
in the pink side,
yep.
you've got an ADU may not exceed SO %. Is that 50?
Yeah.
It's 50% and 1,200.
Okay, and then you got 1 zoo square foot.
That's for you. That's specifically
Okay.
for you, Lloyd.
Um,
It's
so-
1,200. It's 1,200. No, and I appreciate you bringing that to our attention because those are just some of the issues in the copy and paste and the stuff that we're doing
Font issue.
that
right?
need to be brought to our attention. So I will get that
Okay.
fixed.
But I think the 50%'s a little low if we're gonna go 1,200 square foot. Or what's less, you know what I mean? Or which is the least. I think 50% is very minute because, you know, most of your homes are 12 to, I don't know, 1,800 square
So-
feet.
So let's walk through this real quick. That is only the ADU. So what it's saying is if you have a 2,400 square foot house, you can do a 1,200 foot ADU.
Right.
If you have a 800 square foot house, then you have two options at that point. You can either do a 400 square foot ADU or you can go reverse and you do a 1,600 square foot ADU. Or
Well, no,
1,600 square
because
foot
it's
single family.
It says whichever is smaller. So it's 50% of the primary dwelling or 1,200 square foot, whichever is smaller. So there's no reverse on that, correct?
I like it. Hang tight 1 second. We're making a quick correction. We want the public to see what you're talking about because
Oh, okay.
you're in Hawaii.
Yes, it's great.
I bet it is.
No, I actually am not.
Okay, so the SO is a 50%. That's on the screen now,
Mhm.
and the one zoo is 1,200 square feet. So this is just something that the planning commission needs to decide. So from an enforcement standpoint, the max ADU you could have is 1,200 square feet the way that this currently reads.
Which I am absolutely okay with. It's the 50% that I don't agree with.
So if you have a house that's 1,600 square feet, do you want them to have an ADU that's 1,200 square feet also?
I think the 1,200 should be across the board if you're gonna allow an ADU unit.
So I'm good either way. This is something that's currently already adopted. This is already in
Right,
this
right.
is already in the 2024-01 ordinance. So it's just something that I want to turn that to you, Chair, to give me input on which way we want to go on that one.
Discussion.
So then what's the blue in your table here, the blue on the left-hand side?
The blue is a 20. The blue is a 2011 code.
2011, okay. I'm with you. And if you scroll down just a skosh, the second part of your table that's on the next page.
Oh no, my apology.
Right.
At the 2026 proposed.
Oh, all right. So there's nothing in there. Well, in the
Oh,
2011
so
you've struck.
we don't even have sizes on the proposed.
Correct. So that's something that needs to be codified as right now you get to flip a coin and I hope you have a 3-sided coin.
Right.
So if the commission could give me which one they like the best, then what we'll do is we'll put that on for a second reading. And then we could debate on the second reading. What I'll do is I'll strike everything and say this is what's going to happen when we take it to a final vote.
In my opinion, because an ADU unit is such a hot topic right now, I think the idea of having a little more description of what it is easier for administration.
It's in the definitions.
Above and beyond what we're reading here.
It doesn't give,
This would be it.
And it's still not on the screen, Corey, for the public that I can see.
yeah, it is.
You're not seeing the blue.
You have to share your screen, Corey. So if you click that share,
How about now?
There,
right there.
there it is.
Okay.
You know, in the definition, it's vague. It does tell what an ADU is, though.
So the current code, the San Juan County Code, accessory dwelling units didn't exist in 2011.
Right.
Accessory dwelling units have only been a hot topic since 2021, 2022 through the state legislature.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that you see it in the adopted ordinance of 2024-01, which is in Appendix B at the bottom of the page, is because we had quite a bit of information on what they were. And that was, I don't know if this was a legal term that was part of that ordinance or not, but that's what was adopted. And then what is in the proposed is there on the left side. We could do one of two things. We could either take input tonight, or staff could take this, attempt to merge the two, address Commissioner Wilson's thoughts, maybe do a little bit of research with some other counties and cities on the 50%, whether it's 50% or 75%, or it just doesn't even talk about it. And we could come back next month with an answer if that's what you guys want, which might be in the best interest of time. But I'm good either way.
I would probably prefer to hear what some other counties might have.
Right. Yeah, and also, you know, the last sentence in the 24 one, unless specifically permitted, an ADU may not be used as a short-term rental. And so I think that one should be pulled out because I think in your use table, it will specify if it can be a short-term rental.
Based on the zone it's in.
So, yeah.
Yeah, based on the zoning. So in your use tables, what's going to specify if that ADU unit can be used as a short-term rental?
But it doesn't hurt to have the language in here, right?
As in, if the ADU unit can be used for it?
Yeah, because it's unless specific.
I think it's zone-based. I don't think it should be specific to all ADU units. I think it should be zone-based.
Why do you keep repeating yourself?
But because it says unless specifically permitted, so the zone table will say P.
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't it just kind of underscore the idea that
Well, and I think when you say permitted, it's like if I went in to get a permit from Corey, specifically telling him that this will be used as a nightly rental and not just a place for my mother-in-law.
What is the purpose of an ADU? I guess I never.
He probably couldn't hear you.
No.
well it just has
Right.
to be another. It's just another
Jens's question was, what's the purpose of an ADU in code?
An ADU unit is just an accessory dwelling to the primary residence, whether it be used for family members, a long-term rental, or a short-term rental. Correct me if I'm wrong, Corey.
To me, I do see where you're going. I think the reason this was put in there was specifically the situation we found ourselves in from a
Yes,
county
yep.
standpoint.
Because short-term rentals were permissible in all zones at the time.
So what you're saying, just to make sure I'm on the right page, what you're saying is if I have a primary residence and an ADU on the same property, if the zone says P on it, then I could put both them as short-term rentals. If it says conditional, then it's conditional, and if it's a blank, then you just can't have an ADU period in that
No,
residential
you
zone.
can have an ADU.
Or sorry, you can't have a short-term
you
rental.
can't have a short-term rental with it. Yep.
No,
So if you're
understand.
in a residential zone, you put an ADU unit in, it has to be used for a either long-term rental or for family members or so on. It cannot be used as a short-term rental in a residential zone.
Because a zone is blank on that.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're going with that.
Yep.
And then what is this sentence contradicting? Why is this sentence contradicting that?
It's kind of saying
Because
the
the way
same
I
thing.
read it is like when I go in to permit it, I'm specifically permitting it as an ADU that's gonna be used as a short-term rental. And Corey sees this a lot. People come in and give a set of plans for a home, and he's never been told that it was gonna be used as a nightly rental. Well, it has to meet different criteria to be a short-term rental versus a primary residence. So that's one of the things, that's where I think that covers specifically permitted. Correct, Corey?
So let me do this. I have 2 commissioners at least that like it, and I have 1 commissioner that doesn't like it. So you're losing the battle. No, I'm just kidding. Let me do a little bit of research with other municipalities and see. The thing is, I would be really shocked if the state legislator does not have this defined, and we might just want to copy what the state legislator says to keep it the same.
Well, I'm just wondering if this is where the confusion is, because it's permitted versus permitted,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So maybe that's what Lloyd and I are not on the same page. But I think if you were to say unless specifically permitted in the zone
Or allowed in
or
the
allowed
zone.
in the zone, yeah, I'm taking You
That-
know, is that
That makes sense. I see where you're going. I see where Lloyd's going with that comment. What Lloyd's saying is, if I'm in a commercial zone and I have a duplex there because it's permitted, and I want to put an ADU, this is saying I can't have that ADU as a short-term rental, but the zone might say permitted on there.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is the ADU, if it's in the correct zone, and the zone says that it can be a short-term rental, this is contradicting that.
Mm-hmm. So the state says EDUs must meet local building, health, and fire codes and are typically restricted to rentals of 30 consecutive days or longer. Typically, so that leaves it broad for the county to decide that.
If it's permitted.
If it's permitted.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think Anne's saying.
But the sentence reads, unless specifically permitted.
Right.
I like how it reads.
Okay.
permitted just means it's allowed in the zone,
Yeah.
right?
It's allowed in the zone.
Not like you have to go get a special permit
Right.
for it.
Understand.
To me, it feels redundant, quite honestly.
But given all of the trouble that the county has gotten in, at least that's what I'm hearing, to make it as clear as possible.
So here's another
Even if it's redundant.
here's another alternative. There's going to be a lot of redundancy in the code, and you can see that on the first page where we put that disclaimer when there's two codes and they contradict each other, the most restrictive. And that's one thing that Melissa brought up. What we can do is move forward with this, and then further down the road next year, we have big hopes this year to get this done. Next year, we could refine it and start getting rid of some of the redundancies because it is clear at that point. But right now, we really don't have a good use table. So until we get that use table checked, back checked, cross checked, first reading, second reading, third reading, get it in front of the citizens, get in front of the commission. So I'm okay either way, but I would probably lean more towards let's keep the redundancy in as much as we can for clarity, and then let's clean it up when we're ahead of the game.
Okay, one more correction that we just talked about, where you said that both the primary and the ADU unit can be used as nightly rentals. That's incorrect. The state says the property must be owner occupied. So at least one of the two structures has to be owner occupied.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's really
So-
good to know.
So
Trent made a comment about this meeting being short, so I figured let's get it going.
We're gonna have to mute you.
You challenged me. Challenge accepted.
So just in clarification, the blue is new code, the black is strikeout. That's probably the main focus.
Okay.
The greens and the pinks and the purples and all those other colors are things for staff to say, we got this far. And you can see a lot of that in chapter 1 as an example. So when we started going through the San Juan ordinance, what we found is chapter 1 consisted of administration and definitions. And then chapter 2 was administration. So what we did was we moved all of the administration from chapter 2 and chapter 1 and combined them into one chapter. We moved all of the definitions out of chapter 1 to chapter 2. And that's where you see a lot of striking. Definition at 1.5 is no longer in the middle. If you look at this, you can see where administration is 1.1 through 1.4. Definitions was 1.5. We just deleted all of that out of 1.5 and moved it to chapter 2. And then when you go down, we had additional administration, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 1.10, 1.11, 1.12. And then what we ended up doing was all of this is blue, even though this is currently in the code right now. In chapter 2, all of this is blue because this is all going to be new. Melissa went through this section, and my apology because there's a lot of code. This has not been proofread at all. This is just getting everything into chapter 1, chapter 2. But this all moves to chapter 1. And then we move all the definitions, chapter 2. So that's the first pass. Now we're going to be working on the second pass, where it's cleaning up chapter 1, bringing it back to you guys in a better format. That's going to be reading 2. Hopefully chapter 2, reading 2, we're really close to having it done at that point. And then what we're going to do is start putting watermarks on here that says first reading, second reading, still in process, still in process, still in process. When I get the go-ahead from the commission saying chapter 2 definitions are done, we're not revisiting this one, I'm going to put tentatively approved. I'm going to put a date right here across on a watermark, and that's going to just be kind of on hold until we get a chunk to go to the county commission with.
And are we gonna do it by chunks to the county commission?
Yes.
As opposed to the whole thing at one
Yes.
time? Oh,
So
good.
what my intent is with the county commission, I haven't got approval yet, but what my they're plugging theirs. What
She's
my
a citizen.
what my intent with the county commission is to get a good chunk, like 4 or 5 chapters, and then go to the county commission. I don't want to go to them every month. So kind of our first one that we've kind of tentatively looked at is possibly going to them in June, and then reset in July, and then repeat, reset, repeat. And we're going to start doing that. What I anticipate is about every 3 to 6 months is what the hope is, if I could keep up with the planning commission.
Well, I think it's if we can keep up with you, yeah. But I appreciate it.
And the main reason that I'm doing this is from a code writing background with building codes. If the public could see that we're crossing off agriculture, which is currently adopted, and we're replacing it with this type of stuff's going to make sense to the public as determined by the planning commission, a very subjective rule. The bulk of the public is going to look at that and say, no, we agree with that. And they're not going to, when they do come out, they're going to come to staff and say, we don't like this. And that's a conversation that we could have, or the commission could have with the public. But the intent of this is when it's black and blue, we could zone in on exactly what we like and what we don't like.
Better at black and blue than you black and blue.
That's
or
true.
us black and blue.
So, real quick on Melissa's comments, they're mainly grammatical.
No, I've got some
Okay.
content.
Should we just go through them?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a lot, guys.
They are, but that's great because
And how about if I just say if one's, grammatical or spelling or whatever, we just keep going.
That works.
Just
Yeah.
the content, not
Just
the
the
gra-
content
not the
ones.
grammar.
So I have a document that has a whole bunch of yellow
Yeah,
highlights.
right.
So if we just start on page 1
Okay,
on the county code,
okay.
I'll try to highlight this as we go through it with the public.
Okay.
So this
So-
is the first one right here.
Yeah, that's the first one. So I think it should say the most restrictive requirement shall apply. If it is multiple, it's the most restrictive requirement.
So, Chair, am I okay just to redline these and just run with it? Okay. Page 29, definitions.
So, let me see what I said about signs. Okay. Oh. I would change, okay, so I'm already I already jumped down.
Oh, okay, that's
Page
fine.
31.
Okay, and that's perfect because this is still a large work in progress.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would, instead of saying things, I would say among other concerns.
Among other concerns, so that's right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Among other concerns, perfect.
Under conflict, I have no idea what, but shall prevail notwithstanding such provisions which are less restrictive.
So-
I think that's totally unclear.
I think this is all going to be rewritten.
Okay.
Like, I think everything in chapter 1
Okay.
is going to be rewritten.
Okay. So should I just jump to definitions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's just go to definitions.
Wait, well, are we gonna jump around then?
I think he says it's going to be rewritten, so maybe we don't spend a lot of time on chapter 1.
So anything in chapter 1, what we're going to do is that's going to be worked. Right now, all of chapter 1 is just a copy and paste of chapter 1 of the zoning code, the 2011,
Okay.
of chapter 1 and chapter 2, and I'm just putting everything in one spot.
Okay, so it's real rough.
It's real rough.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're just going to skip this, even the part about appeals, which is wrong.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
That one
Okay.
definitely needs to be corrected.
I have a real problem with the way chapter 2 starts off with this Ludmo adopts the definitions in Cludma when we haven't even defined those. So I think you need to say what those are right off the bat.
So we were thinking the same thing, so I'm glad you brought that up. So they need to be,
They're in here, but they ought to be,
they should be spelled out.
it should be spelled out at the top.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, under accessory use, number 2, a use that is subordinate to and serves a principal or main use. That doesn't make sense.
This one right there.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It can't be subordinate to and serve a principal or main use. It's subordinate to something.
Is subordinate.
Is subordinate to a use?
Is
Or
subordinate
to the
to
main use?
a main use.
Yeah, that's really what it should say.
Is subordinate
To the principal or main use.
to the principal or main use. So we're getting rid of and serves
Yeah,
a.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Agricultural land, I would certainly get rid of the word useful in front of plants. It's devoted to the raising of plants and animals, right?
So say that one again. Agricultural land, useful.
Agricultural land, they've got the word useful plants.
Okay,
I mean, people aren't going to raise unuseful plants.
so raising of plants.
Yeah,
Okay, could we jump up to adversely affected party?
yeah.
I have subject. I have this one highlighted.
Oh, yeah, that is the subject.
That
It just needs
is
the word preposition the in front of it.
the.
Yeah.
Spell that for me.
T-H-E.
T-H-E.
The.
The. Okay.
The.
Okay, gotcha.
And under agricultural land, the reason I had or is it should be lowercase.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so airport turning area is closer to right. It should be the area of an airport, comma, other than the approach zone, comma. It's got a semicolon right now.
So the semicolon needs to be a comma.
Needs to be a comma
Okay.
to make it clear.
Okay.
Angle. So there's some definitions in here that I don't think need to be in here. I don't know why angle is in here.
I'm just merging papers together and codified.
I mean, it's like section is, I mean, there are other ones that are defined, and it says very clearly at the top that if it's not defined, it's the common understanding of what something is.
What does that say for angle?
The rotation required to superimpose either of two lines on the other.
So for a surveyor, that's gonna be a factor. Maybe it doesn't need to be in here, but when you talk about boundary descriptions and matching, the rotation is a big part of that.
Okay, fine, keeping it.
It doesn't need to be in this, but.
So under arena, I think there are other uses for arenas. I mean, people have band concerts in arenas.
It's true.
This says it's set aside for showing, training, or exercising livestock. I think it's too limited a definition.
So I could do two things. We could either talk about it, or I could come back with two options.
Come back with two options.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that.
Well, the arena too, I think, could just be clarified by livestock arena, or and there's probably a proper term for it
Yeah,
that differentiates it from a
could.
concert hall or whatever.
yeah.
From a facility or something.
But even, people that do stuff in livestock arenas, they have, I don't know. Yeah, come back
To
with
make it
two.
more all inclusive.
Yeah, I think I'd make it all inclusive.
We're going to make it orange and pink, just so you know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. That's true.
Under athletic club, facilities may include, get rid of, it already says it's for exercise and sports or recreation. Get rid of all of the exercise equipment to skating rink.
Okay.
Because facilities may include stuff that's other, like indoor bathing, restaurant, blah, blah, blah.
So everything you have in yellow is deleted.
Everything.
Okay.
No comma after the E in the fee.
Okay.
Semi-tractor, so auto repair. What about tractor trailers? Do they fall under auto repair? Because they're not listed.
Yep.
I had to look up what a semi-tractor was versus a tractor trailer. Okay,
So what am I doing on that one?
add tractor trailer.
Add tractor trailer.
Okay. Okay, then there is under auto wrecking salvage yard, provided that this definition shall not be deemed to include such uses which are clearly accessory and incidental to any agricultural use permitted in the zone. Is that just saying, I don't know what that says. I think that needs to be clear.
Okay, I could look into it and see.
Okay, next one, I'd get rid of,
Scrap it.
yeah, I'd scrap it.
Okay.
Okay.
I like TC. TC, keep going.
Okay, so under barn, it says and/or machinery used in bona fide agricultural activities. Well, is that really necessary to say bona fide?
Delete bona fide.
He's certified. He's bona fide.
You're very thorough.
Okay,
I know, I like it.
batching apartment.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of batching. What on
was
earth
wondering
is a
what in the world
batching?
is that?
That's what I.
Okay, so here's another definition. A bearing, again,
That goes back to your
the
Survey.
survey thing. Okay,
Probably delete.
yeah.
basis of bearing is such and such,
Yeah, okay, leave them.
Leave it.
Yeah. So next one, bed and breakfast / boarding house. People stay in boarding houses for more than 30 days.
Yes.
So this, it's saying not to exceed 30 days. So I'd either make boarding house a separate category or just strike it from this one.
Let's do a separate category because boarding houses are going to be a very specific use in the building code.
Okay.
So we'll make a new definition for that one.
Okay, some of it's just building main. Okay, I'm down to building main. The building or buildings on a site which houses the main use. Well, if it's the main building, how can it be buildings?
The building on a site, so we're getting rid of.
I'd say the building on a site which houses the main use.
Perfect. Okay.
Camping. Is it a recreational or temporary activity? I would get scratched less than 20 consecutive days per calendar year because people move their trailers around.
So delete that, or do we want a timetable on that one?
I delete
So-
it.
I know, like the BLM does, like a 14-day.
They have 14
Yeah.
days, but then you just move to the next campground.
Correct.
So,
So if they do camping, are you okay with them camping there forever? How do we stop that?
Code enforcement person.
Are you for hire? Is anybody in the public for hire?
Hey, would it help you out if I drove this thing? Cause you're writing down, taking notes and everything.
If you were Lloyd, I'd say no.
I waited till he wasn't here to ask.
Um,
Is that right?
I don't know if this will help you.
He's still there.
Since you
I
highlighted
will.
everything in yellow.
Do you not need this?
Nope, I have one.
Okay.
Thank you. That's why the planning commission's awesome.
So what if, I mean, is the county really gonna say that you can't camp anywhere more than 20 days, or are you leaving it to the land management agencies
Yeah,
to define?
that's land management.
That's
So land management's land management. Can we have camping? Can I have somebody camp in my house? I'm getting a yes and a no.
It's that LaSalle issue again.
It is.
It's
Yep.
that LaSalle issue again.
That's right.
And they were there for a long time.
So there's one city that I'm aware of that had an issue similar to this where RVs would come in and they would stay there forever. What they did was I could find the language specific, I believe. I hope I can. What they did was they said no more, you can't have a tent on the property for more than 15 days in a 365-day consecutive time frame or something. They got a little bit more granular on it. I could look at that and bring that back if you want me to.
Why don't you?
Okay. And I think it was a little bit more than camping. I think it was more specific to RVs
Yeah,
because they had people living there forever. So we could look into that and see. So I'll get you two options on this one.
Okay. So the top of the next page, it says other individual. It hasn't mentioned any individuals at all, so it just needs, the word other needs to be deleted. Okay, so then,
Hey, do you want me to highlight these in yellow on your page up here, Corey? Or no?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think this is just this is not my original.
Okay, perfect.
My original's in a Word file, so I'm going to go back, but I appreciate it. You're more high tech than I am.
Oh, you're good, pal.
okay, so again, I question, did we need the definition of certification? Okay, childcare, home. Childcare operated on residential premises. Are we we have another kind of childcare where there's a limit to the number of kids, but is there a limit to the number of kids in a home?
That's the state.
The state regulates that.
Okay. So now going down to clinic, dental, and medical. So I, as a professional, as an allied professional, this needs to be fixed. So it should say, in my opinion, a building in which a group of physicians, dentists, and allied professionals,
Okay.
and assistants
Okay.
are associated for the carrying on of their professions.
So on childcare center above, I have the highlighted. Just delete it
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
part of any
just
day.
delete the.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to make sure, I didn't go check all these codes. So this is all the current code because everything changed?
That's going to change. That's going to be, I don't know exactly what it is. I want to say it's 1772 or something. If Max online, he could probably tell us, but I'll get it fixed.
Okay, so commercial use, delete the word "and" in the middle of that thing. Common amenities. Okay, so common amenities, they may not be residents of a development they could be users of the development. Like I'm thinking of like, if there's a business park, there might be common amenities at a business park and they aren't residents. So I would say users or owners.
Do you want users or owners or just users?
I don't know.
I would say users.
Users, okay.
And then common area, I would scratch of the residents, an area of common ownership designed to serve the blah, 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 right?
Okay.
Okay, so the paragraph at the top of the next page, I think it needs to say common areas may include blah, 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 as part of the development proposal. I didn't know what kind of proposal it was, so I would throw in development. Okay. Under community use, get rid of the word "the" and capitalize uses. Configuration, I again questioned why we had to put it in here. Okay, so conservation easement. Okay. The easement will be held by a third party. Is that always true? With a conservation easement?
You got me.
You know, a conservation easement is kind of a self-defining thing in a way. You could probably get rid of that last part.
Okay,
Like,
good.
You know, the idea of a conservation easement is it's kind of designed for the benefit of the whole public, and so usually an easement is two landowners, and they,
Yeah.
you know, I think you could get rid of that part. Maybe we can think of an alternative or just leave it out altogether, because I do think a conservation easement is a certain type of thing. You don't need to, it is, so you don't need to say. That's a little confusing, that last part there.
Yeah.
So
So
we're
strike the easement will be held by a third party, ...
we're getting rid of and maintained in
Do
perpetuity
you want
too.
to get the maintained in perpetuity in there?
We could maybe add some, you know, maintain perpetuity for the benefit of the public, you know, there's kind of we could work on that one.
Okay, I'll work with Jens on that one.
Okay, delineate I thought was another unnecessary definition. Okay, dwelling, single family. Okay. So we have 2 single family dwellings here, and I'm not sure which one we're using.
Top one or bottom one?
Well, we've got dwelling, we've got multiple family dwelling, we've got single family dwelling, and then dwelling again.
So of the 2 single family dwellings, I would choose the top one.
Okay. I'll go back through and see why that happened. That could have been a really late night for me,
Okay,
and I might have copy and pasted twice.
okay.
But I'll see if the proposed ordinance has both of them in there. If it does, then I'll probably get with Jens and kind of figure out. but you want the top one if that's what we're going with.
That would
Okay.
be mine. I think
How
it's
does a
simple.
single family dwelling go with the ADU?
I think an ADU is going to be accessory dwelling unit, which is also going to be a single family dwelling.
On a single lot?
Okay.
Yes.
Mm,
They got a problem.
It does say
That's why
that
I'm
for the
saying
ADU.
with the accessory- the
Yeah.
ADUs,
It's on a single lot. For the same.
you have dwellings on a single lot, that's kind of always been the standard, and an accessory was there to not be another single-family dwelling on one lot, one parcel number, so, anyway, we can talk about it further.
Okay, and you've also got 2 dwelling units.
Okay, let me see where that came from. Let me find the source document and go from there.
Okay, so eatery food establishment. I think it ought to end, say, any business establishment where food or beverages are prepared for consumption, period. Because you've got every possible combination of how you can eat them afterwards.
Any business establishment where
Food or beverages are prepared for consumption, period.
You would have some cases where you have preparation, but it's not consumed there on site. That might be one reason that there's that extra language.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's a conversation with Jens.
Okay.
You have 2 types, I suppose.
Okay, so EMS, the top of the next page, I think that should be EMC.
Okay.
And enclosed storage, it should be on a self-serve basis
instead of serving.
instead of self-serving basis.
Okay.
Okay, enforcement officer. Okay, so that last sentence, the last part of the sentence, charged with the enforcement of the provision of this title. Can't we just say charged with enforcement of this title? Do we have to have of the provision in there?
I think we're probably okay. Delete it.
I was right, sorry.
Oh, okay.
What one were you talking about?
Enforcement of the provisions of this title. She just wants to delete the provisions of.
Okay. Okay, family. Do we need to define what a family is?
It's been a very hot topic.
Yeah, so why don't we take it out?
Well, and part of the reason it's probably been a hot topic from a building code is we are getting some occupancies where they have 20 people, and at some point we need to have some enforcement saying it's if you have more than 6 people hypothetically, or 4 people or 8 people on that one.
But if you have 20 cousins, I mean, what's the difference between having 20 cousins, which would be allowed under this?
So I do know that this code is, or this and I didn't write this one. This one came from the proposal. I do know that this is a pretty standard throughout the nation, but we can strike it. Like, I'm good. You tell me.
Because it relates to single family dwelling or multi-family dwelling, right?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
guidelines for.
It's guidelines for that, but you could have 20 people living together, 20, as long as they're related in that single family dwelling.
But it says up to 4.
Unrelated. So a family is an individual or 2 or more persons related by law, blood, marriage, or adoption, or up to 4 unrelated persons. You could have 20 cousins living together
Why?
because they fall in the first part of that sentence.
An individual or 2 or more persons. Oh.
Yep.
2 or more. Okay. Okay. So.
So I could do 2 options. We could strike it, or I could do some research and come back with you with some more input.
Let's get some more input.
So Melissa, is your concern over how many people could be in a dwelling, which I think this is intended to control, or is it just the definition of what is a family?
It's both. It's
So
both.
what would be the number of people you would be okay with in a dwelling?
Oh, it's not for me to say, you know.
But doesn't that also
So that's
tie to
kind of, I mean, yeah, so.
I mean, you think about families with a
Occupancy
whole bunch of
standards
kids, you
for
know, I
building
mean, if
code.
we,
Yeah.
you can't
I-
have?
and they get grandparents, I mean, it's,
Well, I get what you're saying. What kind of is the right way to say this? I don't think the county wants to be in the business of controlling how many people are in your family. In other words,
yeah.
you can have a large family, and if you have a small house, that's, you know, a lot of us grew up in a small house with a lot of children, all that kind of thing. That's not what we're saying. I think the idea is, this is designed to prevent, just a not a good situation. I don't know how.
So, like a nuisance as an example, 20
Yeah.
vehicles on the road.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I just,
As a,
you know, you're gonna have somebody say, well, you can have 20 cousins live here, but we can't, you know.
Yeah.
well, we could define the degree of relation if needed to get that specific. In other words, brothers and sisters, parents, you know, grandparents, I don't think anyone's gonna try to control how many you can have.
I'm fine
But
with 20
the
cousins.
The neighbors and the, you know, the community as a whole, I think does have an interest in how many people are in a home, especially if they're not, or if they're not family. There is a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference, but yeah, I think a judge might say, not an attorney, but,
Let me do some more research on it.
okay.
And then I'll talk to James and we'll kind of see. From a enforcement standpoint, I do see where there needs to be some guideline
Yeah.
because
No,
we'd get the calls of, hey, there's 25 vehicles, and we're like, we can't do anything, and they're like, because everybody's family and we deal with it on building.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have a contractor's license. Oh, they're family. How deep does your family go? You can't be related to everybody.
Yeah.
So
No. Okay, so I
I
just,
don't know. I think I'd like to see it gone myself.
okay.
yeah.
So the ultimate remove it.
Do a little research.
Okay.
So just a little bit, like fire hazard and frontage are out of order. If you're doing alphabetical order.
Just switch those. Perfect.
Okay, so, okay, so under garage private, you've got multiple dwelling. I think you mean multiple family dwelling.
Okay.
Okay, and that's in there twice.
Okay.
Okay, garage public, a building or portion thereof, comma, other than a private garage, comma.
Okay.
I just questioned whether we needed to have garage sale / yard sale. I don't remember why I put the question marks next to general plan. Oh, because it's in here twice.
Yeah. Yep,
General
that's why.
plan is in here twice. It's general plan and then general plan San
San
Juan
Juan
County.
County. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So which one we scrapping?
So we're
The first
scrapping the
one.
top one
Okay, perfect.
because the second one is the one that's been vetted to a certain level.
Okay, under glamping, there's that issue with or other individual where a hospitality company, business, or individual, so scratch other. I would get personally rid of without the uncomfortable negatives under glamping.
Okay.
Where guests can experience the positive aspects of camping,
Yep. I agree.
period.
Okay.
Okay, glamping lot. A unit of land not less than 2,000 square feet. That consists of. Okay, more just is it the right code? Home occupation. This one I think we'll get in trouble with again. So I highlighted the part, and does not involve the use of any accessory building or yard space outside of the main building. You know, that seemed, I remember a lot of home occupation where people were doing stuff outside in the main dwelling. I think we should scratch that personally.
Like get rid of the whole definition?
No,
No,
scratch
just-
the
Or
part
just that
and does not
thing.
involve the use of any accessory building or yard space.
Right.
And leave not normally associated with
Not normally
residency,
associated.
but may
Yeah.
not constitute a nuisance. Yeah.
Delete all that.
No,
No.
leave.
Because it protects it from becoming a nuisance by leaving that last
Right.
part in.
Right. It's the part you should be able to use your accessory building in
Use
your
your shed
yard.
if you need to. You bet.
So we're
Yeah.
keeping not normally associated.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my lack of knowledge. So a hotel in which the egress is internal to each single sleeping unit, is that the way the building code describes it?
I don't know if it's exactly how the building code, and we could duplicate that if we look into it, but that is typical. So the easiest way for me to understand it is a motel, you think a motor.
Yeah.
And so when you think of a motor, when you walk out of your room, you go right to your car.
Okay.
A hotel, when you walk out of your hotel, you walk into a corridor. So that would be that internal.
Yeah, that's not clear.
Okay.
I think that needs clarity.
Okay.
Okay.
Access to the room in a hotel comes from
It's right here. I got you.
A hallway.
Right here.
Oh,
the inside of the hotel
Yeah.
itself, whereas access to your motel room.
So a couple options on that one.
Yeah.
How do you want to word it?
yeah. I didn't know what internal to each sleeping unit meant. Okay.
Okay.
Are we really okay? Household pets. Are we really going to set limits on household pets by zone?
So there is an area in the use table that kind of got struck dealing with this. So I personally like it, but it's not me.
You know, this was another source of contention when we were
Yeah.
telling people how many
Yeah.
pets they could have.
Yeah.
What does it say on there?
The number of household pets shall be limited to that allowed by the provisions of each respective zone. So what this, as set forth in this title. So what this says to me is we'll say that in agriculture, you can have X number of household pets, and rural residential, you'll have X number of pets. Do we really want to do that?
We canned all that in the proposal.
We canned all
last year,
that, yeah.
right.
So that might be something that just
Take that last
No longer
sentence out.
applies.
that might be a redundancy. So that's
Yeah.
that's a thing that I really appreciate you going through these, because it might have got deleted in one chapter,
Yeah,
but not carried all the way through.
I got to tell you though, Spanish Valley, there are residents that have neighbors with a bunch of animals. Right?
Well,
Yeah.
We'll have to look into that later.
So as you think about this, you've got the nuisance possibility. If you put in the code a number of animals, then by definition, it really can't be a nuisance necessarily.
Yeah.
Because it's allowed by the code. I
Yeah.
don't know which is the best way to go. Probably best just to leave it open.
I agree.
People will regulate it themselves.
yeah. People will, one barking dog that barks all the time is a nuisance, right? So yeah, so let's strike it. Hybrid violations.
Get rid of it.
Okay. The whole thing. I think he's saying get rid of the whole thing.
That makes it easy.
Okay.
Yep.
Illegal use. So this definition starts off saying any use of land or a structure. And then it only, at the end, talks about the structure. So, and/or was inconsistent with previous codes in effect when the use was established. Just delete of structure. Okay. Okay, so illegal lot, just delete, and illegal lot is. Should just
Capitalize
start
A.
with any, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, junkyard. Okay, so there are two junkyards here.
I think the top one is currently adopted code, and the bottom one again would be. So I think that was a typo on my side.
Okay, so it's the bottom one.
The bottom one.
Okay, so then in the bottom one, in the middle of it, it says the use of buildings used in conjunction. Just make it the use of buildings. In conjunction, just get rid of the word used.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why I highlighted kennel. Letter of credit, I thought we didn't need to define that. Okay, so livestock feedlot. So, I would delete on the premises.
Did we keep this when we were looking through the ordinance before?
I don't remember a
Or we just
problem
get
with
rid of livestock feedlot?
Is it permitted use or not permitted use? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, just as far as to regulate it and define it, I think there was a lot of concern with people that have livestock, that all of a sudden their current animal keeping that they've had for years would all of a sudden be deemed a feedlot. Actually, I think feedlot's even in the state code, isn't it? We better double check that. I think there's a feedlot.
I'll get with Jens on that one.
I think we seem like we went over that before.
Pretty sure we had it in the use table.
So do people feed? So a livestock feedlot is where they bring the food in as opposed to having the animals graze on the premises?
Correct.
Okay, so then that one, ignore my comment. Okay, so lodging house.
So we're keeping on the premise.
Yeah, keep on the premises.
Okay.
A building, why is see short-term rental here? Under lodging house.
Because that's what it was. That was the issue with the short-term rental language, is that it either did or didn't include lodging house.
So,
And that's why we couldn't enforce it, because this was the loophole word, lodging house. Lloyd might remember that one.
okay, we need
What is a
clarification
lodging
on why
house?
this is in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, a building where lodging is provided.
Yeah. Yeah, but in practice.
Okay.
No?
It had something to do with how many people stay there and how long.
Oh. All right.
I know who else spoke to this is Mitch.
I don't think I've ever stayed in a lodging house.
I'm not sure I have either, intentionally.
Well, our old short-term rental definition, I believe, included the term lodging house, or long.
Well, so
There's some legal reason why.
okay, we need to figure that one out then. Okay. Okay, where next? Lot line. Okay. Oh, so but the first sentence on that page, just get rid of the period after record. There's a period. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Lot line. Front needs to be bold. Okay, then it looks to me like the word is comer instead of corner.
I agree with you.
Okay. And then what does as elected by the lot owner mean?
So when you're on a corner lot, the owner could build to the west or the north, hypothetically.
Okay.
So the owner gets to pick, as long as he meets the setbacks, the owner gets to pick which Do they want to face Main Street, or do they want to face Center Street?
And the word is elected? Or
That's what it is here.
As selected? As selected. Yeah, I think, okay.
As selected, maybe?
As selected, or
Okay,
as chosen.
Just a different word then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, lot line, I can't tell, lot line rear. So, okay, after the word lot in the second line, you need to put a period in there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Manufactured home. Why are we clarifying that it's permanently assembled by truck, timber, dolly, or similar conveyance?
I wouldn't mess with any technical
Well, isn't
definition.
that just saying that a manufactured home it's a manufactured home because of how it's delivered and put on the premises? Is that what you're asking? Or?
Well,
Probably.
Because a mobile home's gonna be on, wheels.
Axles, yeah.
What's the difference between modular and manufactured?
And mobile.
we're gonna get there. We're
Okay.
getting there.
Well,
Yeah, so you think it should be in there that it assembled by truck, timber? What is timber?
well, I'm just saying that this is trying to point out the difference between what TC just passed, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manufactured versus mobile. modular.
Well, but modular, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
well, maybe we can
yeah,
come back to it.
Prefab, they get hauled in, they're already made.
Yep.
And they just,
Set in blocks. Yeah.
they drop them.
Okay. Marquee, I think it should be electronic means instead of electric.
Hey, real quick, manufactured home. Not all manufactured homes are set on a permanent foundation. That is not a requirement by law.
So the last sentence we need some modifications on.
Be real proud.
Yeah. Yeah, they can just be set on block and tied down properly by code.
It looks like
Anything that falls in the HUD that can be.
we should get a good definition for the variations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Modular or
Yep.
yeah, I
manufactured,
think that's great,
Modular.
prefab,
Yep.
mobile, what?
great
Some of those
idea.
are the same, some of them are not.
Okay,
Marketing people.
so mining, get rid of mining is, should be mining, the definition, the extraction of valuable seams, of valuable minerals, excuse me. And then it says also to include comma, that comma needs to go. Okay. So we're gonna work on mobile home and modular home, so let's not.
Yeah,
not
get rid of
go
means
there.
though. Okay.
Okay. So, and there's
The egress again.
the egress again, right? Okay. Non-conforming lot of record. Could we just get rid of minimum size, width, frontage, depth, or other applicable? And just say, does not conform with the dimensional requirements of the zone where the lot is located.
Conform with the dimensional requirements of the zone where the lot.
Okay, non-conforming use.
Well, some of these definitions for like non-conforming lot, I think, are going to be standard. I don't think we want to chop those up too much because
Okay.
they may be a very legal definition or have been tried and true definitions in.
Yeah, I just, whenever I see where they start saying or other, or, and then it's not specific,
That gives you pause.
that gives me pause. Because
So-
that says like they may add other stuff in, so then why do we bother to
do we
list
have to
those?
list?
Or
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, non-conforming use, is it only of land?
No.
Okay, cause this says a use of land.
I think that's just because this is the land use code. So this CLUDMA wouldn't. CLUDMA deals with uses going on with land use versus. I'm trying to think of an example of non-land related use.
Well,
I guess what I'm saying is you can have, a parcel of land, there are permitted uses in that zone. You have that use going on, like a restaurant, it's there for restaurants, but a restaurant may be doing something in the restaurant that is in violation of a restaurant code with the state, that has nothing to do with the zoning.
Well, what if we just got rid of the terms of land? So if we just said a use that legally existed before its current land use.
I think it's fine. It's in the land use code, so I don't think
Okay.
it's not my decision, like, I don't see a problem.
Okay, nuisance. That should get rid of a nuisance is. It should just be anything that is injurious. And then I think it should be unhealthy at the end instead of
Unhealthy.
unhealthful.
Okay.
Unhealthful.
Unhealthful. So oil and gas exploration. I don't know. I'd get rid of exploration for hydrocarbon, oil and gas. I'd just start with the search by petroleum geologists and geophysicists for hydrocarbon deposits. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Owner builder. The state of Utah requires an affidavit on all owner builder projects. I think that needs to be more specific. What kind of affidavit?
So it's literally named that. So if you're building your house as an owner builder, the state makes you sign a piece of paper that says I'm only doing X amount per year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very specific. So what I can do is I can find the actual form and maybe just replace it with the state of Utah requires this form to be filled out.
Well,
Do
I
you know
might.
anybody that's doing that, Corey?
Doing owner builders? Nobody does.
the affidavit.
Oh yeah, no, we require them really heavily.
I'm asking if you know anyone that's an owner builder.
Somebody on a corner that chose what
Will be.
street to point their house
You're building your own
towards.
house, that's why I said it.
Gotcha. I'm trying to go to. I'm like getting a little tired.
Yeah, I just, it was such a general term.
So it wasn't something that was real. The state could actually come down on San Juan County if we don't fill them out. We're actually supposed to fill them out and send them up to Division of Professional Licensing. We just barely started the practice about 3 months ago.
What is it, I'm not familiar with the affidavit, what, do you know what it's?
I will copy one in the planning packet next time when we talk about this. But it basically says you're not doing it for commercial use. So the big topic, make sure Lloyd's on mute. Do not let him talk on this one. The big topic is if you have your single family residence and you're doing an ADU, then you have to hire a contractor to do that because it's for commercial use. Because you're not an owner builder, you can't occupy two houses.
Incorrect.
See, I told you, keep it on mute. So what it is it basically just keeps the contractor regulated through Division of Professional Licensing regulated. So that's just so an owner builder can't go build house after house after house and avoid the licensing requirements.
I think one of the biggest reasons they have it too is also it says on the affidavit that you will not hire anybody that is not licensed. That's a big one for them.
The youngest owner builder for trivial that I've ever had has been 3 months old.
Oh, wow.
Now the guy built like 20 houses, and it was his grandson that was 3 months old, and the state came in and goes, "We're done. You're a contractor. You go get a contractor's license, or we're shutting you down." So that's the youngest I've ever seen is 3 months.
Did he do good work?
No.
Or maybe I should say, did she do good work?
No.
Okay. Parking space. I think it should say vehicle instead of automobile.
Okay.
Performance bond, a form of collateral, comma, issued by a bonding company, comma, which guarantees blah, blah, blah. And then get rid of the comma after subdivider.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, almost done, guys, with the definitions. Okay. What is, okay. The San Juan County official appointed by the San Juan County Commission. I would get rid of, because you're already just saying it's the planning administrator. Whose duties include overseeing, and I think it's just redundant.
So after commission, we're deleting all the way to commission
Who's-
duties include.
Yeah.
Okay.
Planning commission, I get rid of is. Plat preliminary, the map or maps of a proposed subdivision, get rid of the comma. And specified supporting materials, there shouldn't be a comma there. Okay, private park. Okay, so after owner, put a semicolon. May have affiliated facilities used for blah, blah, blah. And the like, get rid of the comma. And get rid of that second which, and is owned by a private entity or person.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. Public park, an area of land intended for outdoor enjoyment by the general public. Semicolon, may have affiliated facilities, blah, blah, blah. And like the previous one, get rid of the comma after like and the other which. Okay. Okay, so I get the road maintenance agreement and get rid of the comma after the word road because it's called a road maintenance agreement.
Okay.
Okay. And okay, so what? An agreement between two or more parties that outlines the rights and responsibilities of the parties to construct, maintain, and repair the road, right? They don't repair occupant or emergency vehicle. To construct, maintain, and repair the road.
Or repair vehicle access. No,
They
take out vehicle as
Yeah,
well,
I-
access.
yeah, I would,
And repair access to private parcels.
yeah, occupant or emergency vehicle.
So
Sure.
so we're getting rid of that. That might be problematic because the road maintenance does not go to all the private properties.
So, but that needs to be fixed, because it says
Okay.
it's construct, maintain, and repair occupant or emergency vehicle
I'll get
access.
with our road department. It'll probably be something more like maintain and repair county roads as ordinance or something along those lines.
Okay. RV park that just has some stuff in there that, like, hyphen in there that needs to go and a comma. Section line, I thought that didn't need to be in here. Oh gosh, I'm going through a lot of pages right now. Maybe, did I? Oh, I think maybe I stopped reading at some point.
In the S's, it turns out.
In the S's, I think maybe I know what happened is I got to subdivision and I jumped to where it was talking about the subdivision, and I never went back and looked at the rest of those
So then with that,
definitions.
if you want to send me any changes that you want,
Yeah.
I'll just strike them just instead of providing them in yellow what you did this time.
Okay.
What I'll do is I will just go through them and strike them and we'll clean those up.
Okay,
And
I'll get that to you in the next week or so. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Nope, that's fine.
I-
I was thinking the same thing. I was going through it. I'm like, Am I missing something?
Yeah, no, I obviously, my eyes were crossing at some point. I did have stuff other than in the definitions, though.
Okay. Any other comments on definitions, or is that a good start for number 2?
That's a great start,
Okay.
and I think we,
It's great input. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
I think
You're
we
welcome, that's all.
saved the rest of the chapters till next time.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay?
I like it.
Because that was much headway. Like I said, we should have been doing it like this a long time ago.
And we'll keep on plugging away from staff standpoint, and just what we could get done, we get done, and we just keep moving. I appreciate it.
Oh, just regarding the definitions and cross-checking with the use table, if there's anything on the use table that might need to be in the definitions. You know what I mean? If there's a use on our use table that
It's not defined.
that's not defined, we might need to do that because I think we've run into problems with that before. As what does the, this or
What is the
that,
childcare?
yeah,
Whatever the case is.
yeah.
So
Truck stop, you
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I mean, we're past
Oh.
that, right?
I did get there.
We're moving on.
Where did I see that? I did get there because maybe it just, I don't know, maybe I didn't save it, but because it says truck stop and I put in there that we needed, it just didn't save it.
And it doesn't.
It needs to say travel stop.
going through.
Travel center,
Travel center. Oh, I did.
That's
I've
what I
read
mean
this.
by the use table. We need to make sure that whatever we're calling the uses, that we might need to make sure there's a definition for
So
it.
just to clarify, if the use says travel stop, conditional permitted, you want travel stop in the definitions.
Yeah, same
Okay.
for like, oh gosh.
Okay.
Gas.
Auto repair or
Yep.
whatever. else.
Easy. Yep. Could do that.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'll get this back to you. Corey, I'll get this
Save
back
a lot
to
of
you.
problems.
Oh, okay, perfect. And that's a work in progress. I mean,
And
we're
it's
just
so
looking at
evident
going
now that it was a
this
problem
way.
because it's in our new
Yeah.
definitions. Proposed
Corey, we
definitions.
should probably ask
Obviously, we needed a definition for that. 'Cause no-
Brad about all those surveyor type things, angle, section line, basis of bearing,
Agreed.
that are in there.
See that top
I think
building
the reason
permit?
they're in there is because every once in a while you'll have
You know who it
a
is.
surveyor that will say, I know what I'm doing.
It's rusty.
And I'm telling
coming
you,
back?
the lot line is right here, and it goes
work.
to here. And the county will say, well, our
They've been
surveyor
doing some
knows what
work.
they're doing. And they started over here at this beginning point, and the
Did
lot
they
line
come
is
look at it?
here. and
His
it's
is
here.
way expired.
So Brad it might just be getting tough.
And
So
he
one
doesn't
thing
think
we
he needs
and
a new
one thing that we do need to have a conversation with is on definitions. International Code Council back in like 2015, 2018, they took all of the definitions and they moved them from chapter 2 to chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5 throughout the whole thing. And people were looking for them, they couldn't find them, so they moved them all back to chapter 2. One thing that we need to look at is if this is specific, like if Brad wants this, is it more appropriate to take it out of the general section and put it in subdivision? What's that?
Established
His flight pattern to be over there.
Yeah.
Houses.
codes or whatever.
Go anywhere?
They've got good wording.
Well, and I think these definitions are good. It might be more appropriate to put them in maybe the subdivision ordinance, maybe, because that's where we're dealing with. We'll do some. I'll have you help me. We'll do some
They're
research.
scattered throughout.
Yeah.
They need to be like,
He's like,
Yep, I like it.
I still don't know how you can have an ADU with a personal dwelling and have it be a rental.
Okay, the building permit list is there in front of you.
Speaking of truck stop, we have any idea where it's at right now?
Actually, Bart, the attorney, he submitted the record, which is a combination of all the data that was discussed and submitted and so forth in the meetings, so that the ALJ could look through it. So it's now going to start moving forward a little quicker, but no progress up till right now. No
Gotcha.
decision. It took a long time to create this record. I mean, you can imagine all the different emails, submission, public comment, it all had to be included, so it was a lot of work.
Right.
Mac helped a lot with it, and then Bart put it together, and I remember asking Ann and Melissa remember I asked you guys for some of those?
Oh, yeah,
pieces,
that's a
yeah.
while ago. Yeah.
But so on that topic, as we're working on this new ordinance, if we can identify some of the weaknesses in the county's ordinances that have led to exposure to lawsuits, and we make sure that we plug those holes going forward.
One comment that has been made from the ALJ is he wants us to take his findings and he wants us to publicize them. And I'm gonna have to talk to Jen more about this and see. We'll have to figure out how to do this. But he wants the planning commissioners to have access to those, so that we can start closing those gaps. One that he's really ruling on a lot right now is ADUs in Spanish Valley, and he's did a lot of research, and he's like, okay, enough's enough. I'm glad I'm ruling on these. When are we going to fix it? So I know that he wanted them published on the county website. I know our administrator had a conversation with him a little bit about it. I just don't know I don't know if we want them on the county website. I don't know where they go, but he has made that comment.
Well, so what are his recommendations for the language or the
Correct.
things in the code that we need
To address.
Yeah.
Did you ask what are they?
Well,
That's-
specifically, he was
Oh.
saying accessory dwelling units, but what in our code is not?
Needs to be fixed.
Yeah, exactly. So we can discuss that.
I think once his ruling comes back to us, he, in a written form, will be able to take that.
He's pretty thorough.
It'll be appealed though to the court system, so we'll have multiple rulings coming. I anticipate.
Yeah.
Do you think that last one will appeal?
We are perpetually involved in an appeal. Feels like that.
I have a question about the building permits. This helicopter storage, I just remember this because it was my first meeting. Is that the one for the guy who's got the Blackhawks?
Can I plead the fifth?
Which one, are you talking about the one in Bluff or what?
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the LaSalle Junction one. The very first meeting, that guy got a conditional use permit
And it's expired.
and it expired. And I'm wondering how he got
PC's the one that signed up.
how did he get a permit to? How did he
So-
get a building permit?
So let me touch this one real quick. It is an application right now. It's in review right now.
Well,
Um,
it expired.
It is expired, and we flagged that. There is conversations right now of him moving forward, but he has to come back to the conditional use. So that one is a dead permit right now until he gets the conditional use.
So the permit report includes permits that haven't happened yet.
Correct. It's permit applications.
Oh, so these are not permitted. Oh, I didn't understand that. I thought, I thought they were.
Yeah, maybe
So-
a column for
issues.
status.
Yeah.
Might be.
We're having some concerns with software right now. And with some of those concerns, some of these are bugs that we're trying to work out, but we could definitely look and see if we can do status.
Now there's space for it on that. You can put another column in there.
And if you need to know how to put another column in, ask TC.
I know he's good at it. I was going through his
How
model.
much time you guys spent on that? I'm sitting there looking at my phone, looking at my computer like, I don't know. Okay. Thank you, by the way.
I thought it made perfect. I was able to translate it.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we end this meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. Melissa made the motion and made the second to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Job, Trent.
I'm excited. I really am.
Me too. I want to work on my AM now.
I mean,
Just because I'm kind of
maybe
like,
we're
let's get
not
this
cursed.
done.
Maybe
We're
there's
not
hope.
cursed.
There's hope